I should got a Heisman too. Ha, sugar they hiking that. Hike, shake like a Nike hat. Yo, I got the Midas pack. Told her quiet.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And Jones has it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Walters with a grab over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Back to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Room to run inside the 40. And down right around the 37. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Dropped at the 35, able to display his agility, but not much room to operate.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 yards for number 11.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate. Gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jonathan Allen, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. And his kick is indeed good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That good for 19 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He'll have another first down and more. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
12 more yards there and another first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want to
offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now he's forced out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And on the ground they go with a running back. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. He'll get 4 yards of the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room at the 30. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They'll set up a throw. This one complete to Jordan Reed. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. And they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to throw here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now the try here for the point after. Point after up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Matt Ioannidis in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brashad Perriman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And it's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
All right, now, look at 56.
Looking to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this 1st half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Back to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the 2nd half gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Detroit!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. They go play action here on first down. He sets to fire deep. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Into the Redskins have it, they do. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Ioannidis in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
All right, now, look at 56.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Toward the pylon, caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the short catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, look at 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Gone!
He goes underneath to Freeman. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Falcons on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And taken right at the 35. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. And he fends him off. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a bit...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Shaq Thompson in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. On 3rd down, it's Douglas. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A handoff. Devontae Freeman. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Lucky 56.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Walters. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Matt Ioannidis in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity.
In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This
I put a star. I put a star. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. A look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right?
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Anything to make of this, or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a 3rd.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. First place, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Still a lot that can happen, but you think they get points on this drive, even if it's just 3. Should wrap this one up.
And you got to love their starting field position. So if you're the play caller right now, being on the plus side of the 50, you're thinking exactly what you're saying. Get 3, get out of here with at least that. But, hey, you might have a chance to put 6 on the board and really take control.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
You got 4. You got 4 down.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
7 yards on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll set up the throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He may try and run for this. He'll have a first down past the 40. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the approach.
But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Matt Ioannidis in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Able to get away. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never